BC too? Oh.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
I'm Jay Tilly.
Dude, if my mommy was that mad,
I'd let her
I
spank
know,
me.
thank
Oh,
you. I wait. Yes,
well,
please.
no, if she was my mommy, wait, that sounded really bad. Let me clarify.
Yeah.
If she was my mommy and I was her poppy, yes.
Yes. Yes, please. Twice on Sunday. My
Yeah.
lord.
Whew,
Yes, she
man.
was. She was. Man. Well, hey. So we haven't talked in a minute. So what's been up, man? Wrestling's been kind of quiet, especially this weekend.
Yeah, not a whole lot
Um.
happened.
Yeah.
Couple pay-per-view premium live events I think went
Woo.
down, and then
Man.
somebody told me there's another one this coming weekend. So it seems like a
Woo-wee.
lot of wrestling lately.
Yeah.
But
We can
yeah,
tackle this however you want. We can jump right into Raw. We can dance around. I thought it was a good Raw. I
I did
think I
too.
think it did some good business, and I am just chomping at the bit to see what's going to happen with Judgment Day and the. I'm trying to think of the like rise of Senior Money in the Bank and what his trajectory is now going to be because I think it's going to
Right.
be wild. Um, and then McIntyre, man, what is up?
Dude,
There's
I am digging this McIntyre
slow
character.
burning.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is two Raws in a row where I was like, all right, the old man doesn't seem to be in control.
Yep.
And
Oh, that's a good
there
point.
was a Raw a couple months ago that I remember coming on going, man, that was really good. And I don't remember when it was, but these last two Raws feel like that Raw again. Almost like
Yeah.
Papa H has got full control and they're letting him do his thing because I agree. Last night's Raw was good. I mean, still had your normal WWE isms, which is fine. That's
Yeah.
what it is, right? But there were more things on this show that I appreciated and enjoyed than things I didn't enjoy from the parts. Now, full transparency, I didn't watch it all yet. I kind of fell asleep last night and tried to catch a little bit more this morning, but
Yeah.
I got the gist. Like I got halfway through. I think I got to actually, the only thing I missed is the main event, and then I caught the highlights of that with the
Okay.
DIY coming back together. So I saw most of it, and I did. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, yeah, one of the better ones. It hits the trifecta that the What Culture guys talk about. It had great angles, great promo from Cody, great promo from Rhea in the beginning, and then the matches were good. The ones, even the squash match I thought was a really good squash with Bronson Reed and Apollo. I was gonna say Apollo Creed, but
Cedric
yeah,
Alexander.
Cedric
Yeah.
Alexander. Yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought the Drew McIntyre stuff. I'm intrigued in
Man,
that
I
story.
love that slow burn.
Yep.
Um, the work that the Miz is doing. He may never win a match again. Um, he may not ever have to win a match again. Just like his character work, that shtick, that
Yep.
dirty heel, totally working. This Drew McIntyre, this version of Drew McIntyre. I want to see Shinsuke Nakamura win the world title, but if it's not Shinsuke, I would love to see Drew hit a Claymore on Seth frickin' Rollins. And
Yeah.
not that I don't like Rollins, but I think just this character work that's happening, man, it's yeah, it's phenomenal. And I'm looking at the list of the producers from last night, and Davari produced the Miz Drew piece,
Okay.
which was Bing Bang Boom. It's out of
Yep.
here. But Adam Pierce, who is the on-screen general manager and like the confidant to Papa H, produced the other parts of it and was the handler for that. So, I mean, this slow burn has been perfect, and you've got this great storyline with the Judgment Day. I totally dig it. Um, I'm interested to see what's going to happen tonight. What's going to happen with NXT?
Yep.
Does Papa H win it back from Trick? or
Oh, you mean Dom?
I'm sorry, does Dirty Dom
I
win
was
it
like,
back?
I don't think
even?
Triple H is going for it.
Yeah. So I could see something where Carmelo gets involved because he wants Trick to keep his title since he lost his and he'll be going to the main roster, and that would be a funny. Um,
See, I saw it
I
going the
don't
other
know,
way.
twist.
I see him causing Trick to lose it and turning him heel and having them work a program.
Yeah.
And then you can bring them both up to the main roster,
Oh man. Yeah.
and let them continue that program because
hmm
Triple H and HBK work so well together that it would work fine.
Yeah.
I love the Drew McIntyre thing. I even love the comment about I don't remember exactly words, but the words he said, but basically like, hey, the people want to know, and something to the effect that we're here for you or whatever. And he said, well, who was here for me when the Judgment Day or the Bloodline was beating my ass every day? I was like, that's pretty good. Like, I
Good.
love this long term, like trying to connect storylines. Like, oh yeah, we always meant to do this. It's decent.
Yeah.
It's decent, and I'm
Yeah.
excited. Cody's going to finish his story and become tag team champion. That's awesome.
I mean, that's a title his dad never held, And if it goes that way, my God, like it's right up there with the women's tag team championships. They're like defunct, or I don't want to say cursed like the women's tag team championships, but like I get that there's a means to an end to get him over to Friday Night SmackDown,
Mm-hmm.
but it happened between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. It can't happen before. So you're like, okay, so what do we do with Roman, or what do we do with the American Nightmare between now and SummerSlam? And my God, this is not at all what I thought when you're thinking about, you know, Cody and the bloodline. And what if this whole thing is a work and we get to some form or fashion and it turns out that the bloodline is as strong as ever and we're all just sitting here like, what the like
Yeah.
the one dude was sitting there with his mouth wide open when Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar. Like,
Yep.
so man, I don't.
Yeah, like the whole thing
I
was
don't-
set up just to weaken Cody, so
Yeah,
and make him lose his friends because what this also leads into is KO and Sammy being like, "Wait a minute, those are our titles. Like, why are you
Yeah.
going after them? We're trying to get them back."
Yeah.
And it sprinkles in that whole KO or Sammy and KO heel turn. Like, just the interplaying is really, really good. And yeah, I mean, it's been pretty impressive. I've definitely been enjoying the show and the direction that they've been going in with that, and then with the Rhea Ripley stuff. I actually felt like the women's division shined a little bit in the
Yeah.
opening segment. There were some cross storylines. We had Nia Jax and Shayna, and then Rodriguez come out, and then we had Shayna and Rodriguez going at it. And I'm like, all right, they're kind of trying to build stories here. It's a shame. Was it Tegan Knox can't get her title shot because Becky hurt
oh
herself?
man, dude,
Uh,
did you see Becky's arm?
Yeah.
Hey, props to her for finishing the match.
Yep. That
Um,
needed a couple stitches.
Dude, yeah, it was. It had some of the jelly coming out of her donut in her arm right there. I was like, oh.
What
But,
do you think was
yeah,
worse, that
props.
or Finn Balor's head during that match with Edge?
Ooh, probably Finn.
Yeah.
But like just
Stapled
the
his in the middle of the match.
yeah, that's a tough bastard right there. Like, dude, I need to get back in here. I'm not wasting this opportunity or whatever. Like, woo. So, but no, with the slow rise and turn and burn of the Alpha Academy, will Gable win the Intercontinental title? Will he not? I personally think he will.
I see him
and
winning it
this-
at SummerSlam. Not SummerSlam. Survivor Series. Sorry, I see him winning it at Survivor
Okay.
Series. I think you build the program. He gets it to Survivor Series, then Gunther can either go after Rollins, if Rollins still has the title. But the way they're building Drew, like you said, I wouldn't mind seeing Drew take it from Rollins, and you build Drew versus, pick your baby face of the month. But
Yeah.
because Drew's character work right now, I'm digging it.
Yeah.
And but I think you give that huge pop to having Gable win it at like SummerSlam, an A level show, not a B level pay per view, and then maybe actually we see Drew go after Gable for the Intercontinental, and then you put Gunther after Rollins. Who knows?
Wow. And then somehow it comes back around where Sheamus ends up going for the Intercontinental title.
If he's still in WWE,
Yeah.
his
Jeez,
best buddy
man,
just showed up at AEW, one of his best buddies,
Yeah,
and his
that's
contract
true.
is kind of coming up due. So it's
Do you think, like, we're sitting here and we've mentioned so many wrestlers, do you think it's just, like, ironic that their contracts are coming up? Or is it, like, it seems like a lot of the international stars
Yep.
they're gone, they're good, I've had fun, it's time to go. And, Adam Copeland talking about, I'd done everything that I could with the WWE.
yeah.
And then he made this list of folks that he could go against. And man, wow. Just like, I don't necessarily want to see Copeland and Sting, but I thought it was really cool them in the ring together. So, I mean, if we lose, yeah, dude, like, I'm just thinking about who's down in NXT, who might be available. Like Tony Khan said, he can't agree to contracts with everyone. So
What I think
who?
is one of the most interesting parts is, so TKO is primarily run by the UFC guys. Well, when they bought the UFC, they cut a lot of contracts, like beloved people, Randy Couture, Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell, like all those guys who weren't really fighting anymore, but were there. I think that you're going to see WWE run more like a business, and instead of Vince McMahon and his ownership saying, well, I don't want him going to the other place, so give him this truckload of money. Oh, he needs 2 truckloads, give it to him, because we don't want to see Edge, Adam Copeland showing up in AEW. We can't have that. I think TKO's approach to it is, what's he doing for us? He pops every once in a while. Now let him go. I think almost like a salary cap. I almost feel like there's going to be a salary cap now.
Ooh, shit.
And like TKO is going to be like, all right, let's look at this Sheamus guy. He doesn't have a title. He's not in any storylines. Yeah, we don't need him. Don't renew him. Who's this Becky Lynch? Oh, she's a title holder, but it's NXT. She's asking this much. Is she worth it? And then they're going to have to say, yes, this is why. Okay, cool. Keep her, but I don't even think being in a storyline safe, because look at Mustafa Ali was supposed to win the damn title.
Dude,
And it's like, yep, cut him. He's gone. We don't need him.
man.
So it's. I think we're entering into this really neat and enjoyable part of wrestling where we're gonna start having people jump ship. I think Jade Cargill was, Cody was the first. Now you got Jade. I think Tony's comments about Jade are interesting too. About hey, I offered her money. She came back and wanted more. I offered more than what she wanted, and she still went to WWE because in her mind, and TK was absolutely like, cool, go. Like, I appreciate that. That's what you want to do. I'm fine with it. And it almost sounds like Edge going to AEW is the same way. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't have anything for him. They left on very amicable terms. And I think if we keep that going, that's great. That's amazing for the business. We were talking right before it came on air about possibly Rhea Ripley. If her contract comes up due and she wants to go work with her husband or fiance. Charlotte Flair, her contract could be coming up due and she wants to go work with Andrade, or vice versa. Andrade might be coming up and going, hey, I want to go back and work with my wife on the same show.
Yeah.
Wow. Selena Vega is Malachi Black's girlfriend. I don't remember.
Wife,
she could be coming up and going, hey, I'm gonna go join the House of Black. So now you've got the House of Black with Rhea Ripley and Zelina Vega in it.
God.
And Julia Hart. But those are like things that I think are possible to come down the road. I think the WWE, you can't get rid of me because I'm going to go to the other place, pay me lots of money. I think that's going to go away. And I think it's going to be, all right, you get $100,000, you get $200,000 of this, you get $300,000. If you want more than that, go somewhere else. And the advantage that TK has in that bidding war is he can win that bidding war now. Yes, TKO probably has more money in their pocket, but I don't know that as a business mind they're going to spend that much.
Yeah.
So when somebody like Becky Lynch or Charlotte or some of Sheamus come up, and maybe Sheamus, again, not disparaging Sheamus at all, but he's not in any big name. He's nothing major. Like if they lose him, I don't think it would be like, oh my gosh, we just lost Roman Reigns. I think they'd like them looking at it would be like, okay, we're gonna give you 150. Well, TK can sweep in and say, hey, I'm gonna give you 3. Come see me instead. And
Yeah.
I can see that becoming a trend, and I love it. I think it's gonna be great. I think it opens up things the other way too. I
Yeah.
think Jade was one of those talents that can go, look what I did here, pay me X. I kind of want to come go to WrestleMania, and I think you're going to see Jade in WrestleMania this year. I think she wins the Rumble and she goes to WrestleMania. I
Woo!
wouldn't be surprised if we get Jade versus Rhea at WrestleMania and Jade gets the title.
And Rhea goes to AEW.
Well,
And
I mean, I don't know when her title.
no,
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
that'd be great, but
yeah,
I don't know when her contract's up. Her name's
yeah,
not been on the list. There's rumors about heat backstage and all that, but I mean, CM
yeah,
Punk isn't there yet, so there can't be that much heat. So,
yeah. Hasn't started yet.
yeah,
So I read something in the last like month or so where TKO or UFC, the way they have it is they have um, their athletes basically in tiers,
yep,
and they used to have a deal with Reebok. I'm not sure who their main ring attire sponsor is, maybe Venom, or they may go back. They may have gone back to each athlete can choose their own sponsorship. For that, I apologize. I'm not sure exactly, but with the tiers, that would kind of go in line with exactly what you're saying. You've got Bones Jones making a Brinks truck. You've got Roman Reigns making a Brinks truck. You've
yep,
got Antasanya making 3/4 of a Brinks truck. You've got Cody Rhodes making half of a Brinks truck. So it's 3/4. So yeah, I mean that definitely would bring an interesting aspect to it, and then it would be on the WWE and their like entertainment and production side to go, hey, we're going to offset what you're making as a wrestler, and we're going to get you sponsorship deals
yep.
and movie roles and all this other stuff, and your brand can grow. And the WWE, I don't know if they're looking back and going, "Woof, we really screwed up," because Stone Cold was bigger than WWE, The Rock was bigger than WWE, John Cena to a certain aspect was bigger than WWE. So this may be, like you said, this may be a complete shift in the business model that has made WWE the premier outlet for sports entertainment. And then you take the Monday Night Raw and NXT possibly going to Prime, or there was another streaming service that they were talking about, or maybe because they're not all, they don't want to, they WWE TKO doesn't want all of them on USA. And I'm thinking, why wouldn't you want to have one home? But I guess if you're getting money from everywhere, let's get money from everywhere instead of one. So, dude, man, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I was listening to the What Culture guys. If you guys can't tell, I listen to What Culture quite a bit. But I think it was on one of their news. I think it was on their news thing, and Andy Murray made a comment about TKO being a paradigm shift in the way wrestling is done right now, and like listen, kind of like the conversation we just had, they had, and I'm like, man, I agree. I absolutely think, as much as we were like, oh my gosh, McMahon's not owning WWE, it also is the whole business structure that WWE has run for 40 plus years has changed.
Yeah.
And TKO Holdings is going to be run like a business, not a, for lack of a better term, mom and pop store. Like, not that I'm saying they're a tiny mom and pop store, but it was one guy running it the way he wanted to, throwing money the way he wanted to. Well, now he's going to have, he even admitted it in the press conference, he's got a boss now. So it's not going to be just, oh yeah, give Roman $6 million to stay. It's going to be, Mr. TKO, can I please have $6 million to, or whatever obviously I don't know what they're making, but we really want Roman Reigns to stay, or, hey, yes, I know you don't like Sheamus, but can we offer him this? And now there's going to be a control authority that's going to go,
Yeah.
no. And I think that might have been what happened with Edge, because there were rumors that they couldn't come to a number that Edge was happy with. And I think some of the other stuff absolutely came into play. Like he said, there's people he's never worked with that'll get a chance to, like, maybe a podcast that we recorded that'll be coming out soon. But um, there were, people like Omega and Will Ospreay and Darby Allin. The list goes on and on of potential people, MJF, that he could work with. Wow, that would just be great. So yeah, it's very interesting. And the Jade Cargill, I love how they're pushing her already, and she's not even on their show.
So,
Another thing we started to talk about, and I said let's save it for the show, is I think Jade comes into the Royal Rumble. I think she wins the Royal Rumble, and I think she goes on to take on either Rhea, whoever the title holder is. Maybe Io Sky, it depends. Maybe you're still going to do Rhea versus Bianca, um, which is the rumor. But maybe they didn't think they were going to be able to land Jade, so it could change. Just like the rumor now is you're going to see The Rock and Roman instead of Cody and Roman. So then what are you doing with Cody? Are we just going to keep the tag team thing going? Are you going to see Cody and KO, which would be great? I'm okay with a Cody KO match. We'll be sitting there and enjoying it with a few beers in our hands and cheesesteak.
Oh, fucking cheesesteak. So my wrestling brain, my WWE heart, although dishonorably discharged from my beloved core, I would love to see RKO come out.
Yeah.
And that would be the final chapter in Cody's story, and the whole spin could have been, I was there for you, you weren't there for me, I was going through tough times, you were going through, we were both second, third generation, whatever, and you took advantage, I didn't, blah, 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 blah. Or I've had this great career, you've had one supposed world title someplace that nobody really even talks about, and then that gets him over the hump, finishes his story, and he goes on SummerSlam to beat Roman. But yeah, I mean, you've seriously got to have Cody either open night 2 or I don't even really want him to main event night 1, because then you're taking, I think it's going to be Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And the athletic, just, man, the fire that thing would be, man, crazy.
Really? You don't think Rhea hold her title to WrestleMania? Or do you think it'll be Bianca and Jade in a offshoot story leading into a program for the title?
Yeah, I think something will happen with the implosion of the Judgment Day, and only Senior Money in the Bank is standing there with his briefcase, because that's all he cares about, and that's what gets him booted out of the Judgment Day. And then Rhea is left trying to pick up the pieces, and somehow JD McDonough seems like the answer. I don't know, but yeah, I think there's going to be something there. I think Io hangs on to the title for a little bit longer. I don't think, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. Maybe they can drag it out and turn it into a decent story with her and Bayley at a premium live event, but so many different directions. And you talk about all the opportunities for Adam Copeland, just all the opportunities for Jade. I mean,
absolutely.
I'm so excited, and I hope she comes to the main roster, but stays in Tampa or Orlando, so she can continuously train and get better, because she absolutely has the it factor. And what was I'm trying to think of who was talking about it, the airport test. You see someone walking in the airport, you're like, God, I think it was Bully. one day said that, she absolutely passes the airport test because you see her coming and you're like, damn, if she's not somebody, she needs to be somebody. And now she's on WWE. She was on ESPN. The story, her being signed, and it's just a matter of time before she has a national sponsorship deal or worldwide sponsorship deal, and she's doing movies or something like. Yeah,
I
she's got
100%
it.
agree. I think
Yeah.
she's got the machine behind her, right? And that's
Well, that's true too. Yeah, good point.
that's the
Strong
one
point.
thing that AEW doesn't have yet. I don't think they're in trouble where they're going to fold, but they don't
Mhm.
have that part of it yet. They don't have AEW Entertainment to do movies, and
Mm.
now she's got the machine who can call up ESPN and say, "Hey, we just signed this really big name. We'd like you to put her on your show." And so I think that's a big part of it, and I think that's why she wanted to do it. I don't want this to sound harsh, but I don't think Jade loves wrestling. I think Jade is using this as a platform to go to the next thing, which is fine,
Yeah.
kind of. But I think she sees herself as like The Rock or John Cena or any of those that have stepped out of wrestling and gone to
Right.
movies. And I think if that's really what she wants to do, and again, speculation, I don't know for sure, but if that's what she wants to do, that's the right place to go.
Yeah.
If you want to go there,
Yeah. You're
make a
not
name for
kidding.
yourself, get WWE Machine behind you and push you, great, go do some movies. I think she'd be
Yeah.
great in movies. But I may be wrong. Maybe she loves the business. Some of the comments she's made and the reason she said she wanted to come over is get the machine behind her. I think she even quoted that. Like, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, that's not, I want the competition. Yes, there was part of that, but just my opinion. Like I said, I'm going to be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever she wants
No.
to do, I'm
Yeah.
glad she did it.
That like you're just the way you're saying it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. That is the polar opposite of Adam Copeland's press conference.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about I can have matches with, the whole laundry list of roster, the roster. I don't know what the match would look like with him and Darby Allin. Someone else who is using a spear. I really am not in a huge hurry to see Adam Christian versus the Hardys because the Hardys look rough right now.
Yeah.
But them against the Bucks.
Oh, that would be, and I guarantee
Yowza.
that them against FTR, which is something
Oh.
FTR wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah,
So-
that whole crew is really tight. So
Yep.
that's incredible, dude. I just had like a hot flash. Imagine the Glamazon showing up on AEW, bro. Like
They've already hinted at it. I mean, he even said
Oh
in the
my
press conference
God.
that he would love for her to join. And Brie Bella is another one that came up just
that,
recently.
I saw that. I was like, what?
Yeah. So I mean, yes, give me that, please. And he said something I was going to comment on. I don't remember, but yeah, it's
The
just
roster, the desire,
Yeah.
the press conferences were night and day.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the
I
Adam
was
Copeland
just
thing in
trying to
general.
jog your memory.
Yeah, there's just some really good matches coming up, I think, for
Oh,
Adam
man.
Copeland, man. And I think, I know what I was going to do. I was going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Adam Copeland is as big of a signing as CM Punk as far as what he's going to do for the company?
Dude, I think he is bigger because
Really?
he's a known name and a commodity in Hollywood. He's done TV shows, movies. He
That's
was
true.
on the Viking series. He's been in a couple movies. The fact that he's not a risk to cohesion and turmoil. He's always been a good outside of the incident with Hardy and Lita, but outside of that, he's always
that was a
been
long
really
time
good.
ago, though.
Yeah,
Like
he's a
he's matured
completely
way
different
beyond that.
person, and
Yeah.
he's got kids. He's got a great situation. He's a freaking Hall of Famer. CM Punk is not. And there's rumors and innuendo and stuff that CM Punk is rumored to be going to the WWE, and I mean, if they want to take a flyer, I mean, whoever makes that decision, They're basically going to walk over to TKO just like you just said. Excuse me, can I?
Yeah.
And they're going to go, if this doesn't work and this
It's
blows
your
up in my
ass.
face, you will be all elite before you make any sign one more
Yep.
piece of paper in my building. And man, I
But
don't
on
know,
the
but
flip side, right? So uh, I think CM Punk would work in WWE again because I think they're established enough and have a big enough company and an HR department and all this other thing that I don't think he'd get away with the stuff he was getting away with in AEW.
yeah,
Um, and not to throw shade at TK or anything, but I don't think I think Triple H runs a locker room a lot different than Tony Khan does.
yeah,
And I think the first time CM Punk started mouthing off or doing whatever he's going to do, I think there's too many guys in that locker room that would squash it. Or I don't think he would get away with the antics he was getting away
yeah,
with in AEW. Or if he tried to, it wouldn't end like he would just not show up on TV and it wouldn't end well. So it might work really good for him. Like it'd be great for him to go there and be able to go to WrestleMania like he's wanted to do. Can you imagine we finally get Cody and CM Punk, but it's in WWE? Like who would have ever thought that?
wow,
That would be a great WrestleMania moment.
that would be holy shit.
Yeah, there you go. There's your WrestleMania match
Dude,
for
there
Cody.
you go.
Give him CM Punk, which everybody talked about. Oh no, CM Punk's coming and Cody left. Well, now you got CM Punk and Cody wrestling it up in WrestleMania. Yeah, I agree though. I think Edge is a good get for AEW. Or I'm sorry, Adam Copeland is a good get for AEW. I don't know if it's going to bring as many viewers this Wednesday as the debut of CM Punk because CM Punk was out for so long and everything, and it was a spectacle that he came back. However, I think Adam Copeland will be able to fill the shoes that CM Punk was trying to fill in a not so toxic way.
Yeah.
Like he'll be the guy in the back that I think will be easier to approach. And I hope, maybe we're wrong, and it's an AEW problem, not a CM Punk problem. But I just get the impression that, and I don't think that because you don't hear things from Christian or Mark Henry or The Big Show or Chris Jericho. Some of these vets that have gone there, they're not saying that it's awful in the locker room. So Edge going there could very well be the new mentor. And yeah, I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move for wrestling in general.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody make a quote today and I loved it and I'm going to use it and it's going to be my new thing is I am not a, what was it? I am not a initials fan like AEW or WWE. I am a wrestling fan. I don't care if it's, maybe it was Edge. I think maybe Edge said it in his press conference. But yeah, I don't
That's
care what
awesome.
the initials are. I'm just a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. So I want people to jump ship. I want it to be fun. And yes, I poo-poo on the WWE sometimes, but that's just because sometimes I don't enjoy the product. That doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
not forever, you know.
Yeah. Man, so there it is. We need to set up a draft
Yeah.
now that wrestlers are going to be going back and forth. Each company should benefit from it, and they do it in the NFL. They trade players. One could be the AFC, one could be the NFC, and the WrestleMania turns into our Forbidden Door Wrestle Dream. Whew, man.
I tell you, man,
Dude.
if wrestling companies wanted to make money, they'd go back to the territory days where
Oh,
you
yeah.
have the WWE, you have AEW, get Impact TV deals on Fox, and you have
Yes.
Impact, get New Japan Strong on ABC. So now you've got these 4 big names, and now
Damn.
you can do it like the territories. You can do invasion angles. You can do
Yep.
fun stuff, trade people around, have your champion show up on their show, and like it would just be money.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about if the territories were now, and you could watch all of it happening instead of just hearing about it or reading about it or seeing a videotape 6 months later. Like being able to watch live when, the AWA champion shows up in NWA and, it's just the WWF Hulk Hogan takes on Ric Flair over here in NWA. And
Wow.
how awesome would that be to see,
Dude.
MJF show up at Raw and challenge Rollins. Hey, I'm the champion over here. I'm coming to your show. Let's have a match at, whatever they call the
Yeah.
pay-per-view or whatever. I just think it would be cool.
Wow.
It'll never happen because people are too greedy, but
Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun.
Wow, man, that's a good way to send us off into the abyss and get ready
Yes.
for another show.
Absolutely. Let us know what you think about what we said in the comments below the video on YouTube and Rumble. You can catch us here live at least once a week. We are trying to get to 2 times a week. Life gets in the way recently, but we are working to try to get at least Monday and Thursday. We've got a couple audio podcasts that we'll be putting out on top of this one. Top 10 Jade Cargill opponents, we think, and top 10 Adam Copeland opponents. We were trying to get the video, but it got janked up. But I was able to extract the audio, so I'm going to try to edit it together and get it out. So those should be available in the next week or so. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts from. No Shave Man Cave, Apple Podcast, YouTube Music now. Google Podcast is going away. For those of you that don't know, it's going to go just to YouTube. But check us out wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on our socials on X, Threads, Instagram. What am I missing? TikTok. I think that's all of them.
Yeah, I think that's it. We still haven't heard back from Skylink or whatever it is. Blue Sky?
Blue Sky or Sky Blue. No, that's the wrestler.
Skylink.
Skylink.
Yeah, Blue Sky. Hey, check us out. Give me the light. We'd like to come on over and be one of your premier contributors to some funny and exciting wrestling talk.
Also, be on the lookout for our Patreon account. We're going to set that up and start begging you guys to send us money. I'm just kidding. It won't be begging. We'll actually just ask nicely. But yeah, we're going to try to set up a Patreon account because we want to get bigger and get better equipment and grow and do things. And until, we get monetized on the old YouTube, it's a little hard to do that. So, but we appreciate everybody listening, checking us out. If you're on podcast, wherever you're listening, give us a 5-star review. If you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think, if you agree with us or not. We appreciate it. We love the feedback. And with that, it's your turn, buddy.
Bump and feed. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you check us out. Thanks to our peeps over at Fantasy Sports Corp. You guys have been a huge help. And as always, to our friends, to our fam, thank you for the subscription, for the likes. Really, really appreciate it. And fam, until next time, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for being here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll see you on the floor.